It's a hot day today. What's up, traders? How you doing? I just got off my dolphin tour. Nice day outside, sunshine, ocean, around good people. I'm gonna drive over to the farm for lunch and to pick up fruit for the week, and then I'm going to, from there, I'm headed to home where I'm going to do my trading session, and then after my trading session, I've got a life coaching call. It's a busy day, man. But I have this moment to talk to you about the psychology of shorting versus longing. And I don't have all the answers for you, but I'm just sharing my own experience here. And it seems that I'm much better at shorting. My P&L is higher, and also it's much less emotional. Part of it's maybe strategy, but you'd think longs would be easier. I feel like longs should be easier. And it's something that I've been talking about strategically a lot recently, is I want to improve my long strategy, where my short strategy is absolutely, I don't feel like it needs any improvement right now. I'm executing it great, which is making me money. But the longs, it's tough with the longs. So the psychology here is interesting. Where for me personally, the shorts, there's no outside interference. With the longs, there's a lot of outside interference. So for instance, my short strategy, I'm going to explain it briefly. I short altcoins, this is the fundamentals, at high prices, because cryptocurrency, it's a currency, it's not a stock in a business. And you don't need a million currencies, you only need a few. So when a cryptocurrency is at a high price, most of the time it's good to sell an inflated asset at a high price, right? Now, a couple cryptocurrencies can be valuable, but we don't need 100,000 cryptocurrencies to be valuable, and they're just proliferating. So the first thing I look for is which cryptocurrency is up the most on the day, the week, the month. I preferably like to see it take out an old monthly high and then fail under it, which is a swing failure pattern. It's a signal that, okay, we hit a major TP and people are selling. That's not enough though. I now need to go look under the hood at the perpetual futures data for that altcoin, and what I want to see is that the move up happened primarily from leverage longs. When the altcoin got pumped on longs, leverage longs, and that the open interest is up, funding is positive. So I cannot short it if funding is negative, because that shows that actually the price is up on actual buying and people are coming in and trying to short it too early. And typically I come in around between maybe 2 and 3 p.m. ideally local time. My stop loss is about 1 ATR, 1 average true range with an average of the last 10 days. And my TP, it varies, but it's usually about 2 ATR. I vary it based on where the leverage came in, when I'm looking for the leverage to get wiped out to. So that's really simple and it's really easy. I believe in it. This shit's trash, it's going to zero. And there's new opportunities all the time as new altcoins get pumped up, and then people will take profit on those and then move and pump the next altcoin. It's really hard to predict which altcoin is going to pump. It's really easy to predict that a pumped altcoin is going to be at a lower price in the future, right? So at the same time, I don't feel any FOMO, or like if an altcoin's low, I don't feel like I need to short it, right? Nobody's in my feed really talking about some random altcoin that's number 300 on the list, right? And if they are, it's like, you're an idiot, or you're not an idiot, but you're a fool. And it's like okay, now I'm gonna look to short it, right? If people are calling or pointing out something that's overly pumped. On the other hand, I have a lot of FOMO trading the long side. It's the same thing. The problem on the long side is there's fewer assets to choose from, because it's like a winner take all world, right? Where, especially in crypto, most things go to zero. There's a few like Bitcoin. Most metals don't need to go up. Gold, silver do, right? The stock market, whatever. And when the stock market, when Bitcoin, when gold are at all-time highs and everybody's posting about it now and like friends are messaging and asking, it can be emotionally destabilizing. And it's just like, I want to be in there, right? There's this thing, like, I don't really care what happens with the altcoin market. I know I'm going to make money with it. But there's this thing with Bitcoin for me where I'm like, I'm afraid it's going to go up without me. And I'm like, why am I afraid? That I don't lose money in that scenario, right? This fear of missing out. And it's partially it's triggered by other people, but it's also an internal pressure of, I see the chart, I see it's up, and there's fewer opportunities. It's like Bitcoin is the one, gold is the one, and I want to be in the one, right? I don't have 1,000 Bitcoins to choose from that are setting up, right? There's just fewer options on the long side, at least in crypto. So yeah, maybe I'd do better trading like stocks, but I don't want to and can't. It's just too much work, and also the timing doesn't work for me where I live in Hawaii. I could do after hours orders. I'm just not really too interested in learning, I guess. And I don't know that it's the solution either. I used to trade stocks, and I had, yeah, maybe fewer emotional problems around. It's just a harder game. It's a different game. You don't have as much leverage. You got to put up more capital. It's just not it's interesting. It's not the game that I want to play. So for crypto, typically what I'm looking for Bitcoin, ETH, and BNB, or Solana, like some of the stronger ones, and I'm waiting for all the longs to get stopped out, like a big liquidation event, a lot of shorts coming in, and buying in that scenario where, okay, this one is strong, it's going up, whatever. Part of there's actual scarcity where I can short 200,000 altcoins. I can only long 3 or 4 crypto, so there's fewer opportunities on the long side to get into a trade in a safe way, or a high RR trade, because of the fact that most of them are junk. And then the few that are good, because of the scarcity, it creates like, I want to risk more on the good ones, which isn't wrong, but now it's just higher variance, where like I'm taking 10, say I take 10 shorts at 1% risk, and I'm taking 2 longs at 5% risk. I've got 10% risk on on both sides, but there's a lot more variance on the long side, right? Because of how it is. So now with the variance, it's more likely that just getting barely stopped out sucks more, or just something bad happens is more negative. But yeah, I experience a lot of FOMO trading the long side and none trading the short side. There's nothing where it's like, it's at new lows, I need to sell it. But it's like, Bitcoin is at new highs, I want to buy it. What makes it hard though is these backtested strategies aren't good assets. Longs, buying breakouts historically works okay, right? This is a good way to trade stocks actually, is you buy an all-time high breakout, right? Historically, with the wide stop maybe, or a tight stop, but just, yeah, you buy something that's high, that's going higher. But it also leads to a lot of the time just buying something at a high price, and then it comes back to a low price. And then you're forced to sell at a low price just because of risk, right? So, yeah, I don't know that I have the answer on this. I'm just kind of sparking a discussion and talking a little bit about strategy, and also encouraging you to think about the psychology of trading. And yeah, it's just, To me, it's so much harder to trade the long side emotionally because FOMO. Yeah, the FOMO comes in of. Also, it's like with the reason, when on shorts, it's like, okay, it's reasonable for this thing to dump 30%. But with longs, sometimes they do run 300%. And then suddenly I have no TP and I'm trying to hold it for forever. And just like greed of people's price targets come out, this thing's going to the moon. And then you have no take profit. And then you round trip it, right? It's a lot easier to take profit on the shorts. Especially again because there's new ones coming up. So I just think, longs are so much harder. Shorts are more like a money printer, but then longs, you do have to stay with them. And I don't fully have the answer here. I'm just sharing, but I know my focus for a strategy right now is 100% on the long side. The shorts are taking care of themselves. That's not to say they all win, but it's going really well. I need to focus on improving my trading on the long side. So let's get it, yo. All right, I'm to my destination. So hope you find my ranting and rambling helpful in some way. But appreciate you all, much love, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.